Good morning. Good. Listen, I know y'all just heard me on the other side, but thank you for joining me on this side. I'm doing double duty this morning, Chief. I'm doing double duty. You hear me? Your girl is running. But anyway, listen, guys, thank you so much. If you follow me over from the podcast side, now you're on the video side. I want to thank you for joining us. I want to welcome Chief Wanda Turner to the show this morning. We've been trying to get this done for a minute. So we missed each other. We supposed to do it last Monday, and she forgot, and I forgot. I'm like, oh my God, we're here today, and we want to talk about this wonderful program that she has called W.A.V.E. And so, let me just give you a little backdrop on Chief Turner. She's an amazing woman doing some great things, not just for the community surrounding us, but also for women, empowering women to live their dreams, to take a leap of faith into new careers. She's a law enforcement professional for over 25 years. She is empowering people to take control of their lives, take control of their destinies, and most importantly, she's helping women. So there's a new program that she's launching called W.A.V.E., and it is a pilot program right now from the South that she's working with the Salvation Army. It's so many Salvation Army here in Georgia. One of the Salvation Army in the Atlanta area, and she's helping women just change their lives around. And it all starts with mindset. So without further ado, thank you so much, Chief Turner, for being my guest this morning on the video portion, which I have not launched just yet, but you are number 2, I think, this year. So welcome.
Thank you.
So I know I gave a brief synopsis about who you are, but you have so much more in your background. Tell people more about who you are, how you got in law enforcement, and how you decided to leave law enforcement and start your own business. Because I know, and you know now, that being an entrepreneur takes a whole different mindset by itself.
This is definitely true. Well, I come from a background where my mom was in nursing and my dad was in law enforcement. So as I grew up, I wasn't really quite sure what I wanted to do personally. So I did get into nursing, and I realized nursing was not something I wanted to do. It wasn't for me. So I decided to go ahead and try law enforcement. So I lived in California, and I decided to move out here to Georgia back in I believe it was 96. Once I got here, I wanted to get in law enforcement, didn't know how, didn't have the connections. And so, of course, I'm very inquisitive. So I started doing research, and I decided that um, I would get into law enforcement, what I thought was through club security. And I actually thought that that was law enforcement, but I was in for a rude awakening. And I really realized very quickly that was not law enforcement. So I left there and went into security as a correctional officer, moved from there into policing, and then went to the district attorney's office as a criminal investigator, where I was there for 10 years. And then I went into the sheriff's department and became a deputy sheriff. Then I decided I wanted to also go into becoming an instructor. So I became a police instructor. And then I decided I wanted to give back and help the youth make proper or better decisions, decisions once they leave high school. So I went into the schools and started teaching law and public safety within the school system. And after I did that, I decided, well, hey, why not open my own training academy? Why not open my own security company? So then I decided to open my own security company where I decided to actually have a training academy. And then I opened up a detective company. So we are a threefold company: a detective company, a security company, and also a training academy. And so that's what we're doing right now.
Well, now this is funny because Chief Turner and I talk a lot, and so She doesn't even know how much we have in common. She did. We kind of started out on the same trajectory, but we ended up at the same place. So she turned. I too went to nursing school for 2 years
Wow.
and got to my last year of clinicals and had to do a colostomy bag change and quit like on the spot. I barely made it through past dissecting the rat. Like I barely made it past that
Wow.
part. I did because my classmates like you're gonna make us fail, so they did the dissection. So I made it past that part. But when I got to my last year of clinicals, I dropped out. I was like, oh, I can't do this.
Wow.
Then I decided I was gonna go into corrections, went through the entire process of corrections, did my psych evaluation, did my walk through the prison. I was going to be working at Northern State Prison in New Jersey. Did the walk through the prison. When I walked through, there was a guy in his cell said, "When you get in here, we're going to get you." Freaked me out, and I
Wow.
quit. And my mom kept saying, "But you're gonna look so cute in your uniform." I was like, "Not me. I'm not going in there." So that's really interesting. So fast forward 25 years later, I'm an entrepreneur. So that's pretty funny because we've never had that come. I didn't know you went. I didn't know you were gonna be a nurse. So I thought that was. And you probably didn't know I was gonna be in law enforcement.
Right.
So that's pretty funny. So tell us about Class Act because I know you do a lot with Class Act, and there's a lot coming down the pike. We're working on some things right now with cybersecurity, which is exciting because we're gonna need that, and we'll talk about that on another show. But right now, just give them a little bit about what Class Act does and how you help people get employment because that's important because there are a lot of people who still need employment right now. I think her screen is frozen. That's listen, technology. Sometimes we cannot do anything about technology. So we'll give it a second because it's probably frozen. She's probably saying to herself, why is she saying anything? I'm saying anything. So I can tell you a little bit about Class Act. So Chi Turner and I met because someone from Gwinnett Chamber referred me to her, and she needed marketing help. And so I was able to go on with her and help her put some things in place, like the WAVE Academy, which we're going to talk about in a minute when she gets when our computer resets. But Class Act Security and Training Academy. They not only do they train individuals to become security professionals, they also employ professionals, and so that's really important because right now there are a lot of people who need jobs and they don't know that they can become a security professional making pretty decent money. And not only that, there's a lot of room for advancement. When I first went to the ribbon cutting ceremony, Chief Turner was one of the young guys that worked with her. She said he was such a good employee. She was about to give him a promotion, so he didn't know. He thought it was just like a meeting that we were going to, and she actually promoted him in front of everybody, which I thought that was really nice. And so there's a lot of opportunities in that space. I can also tell you that one of the things I got excited about when we started this was her executive protection program, and I'll let her talk about that because I got excited about that. I'm so creative. I was like, yeah, you could call them Wonder Warriors, and she's like, I don't like that. So I was just giving them a brief about I was giving them a brief about class act, and so I was telling them about some of the programs that the company offers and how you help people get employed. So go ahead, I'll let you take it over.
Okay, so Class Act, we have several programs. Like in the Training Academy, we have different classes that we offer to the community in addition to our own security, in-house security, as it relates to what it is that they do. And so, what it is that we offer is executive protection training. We offer private investigation training. We offer armed and unarmed security training. We also offer firearms training. In light of things that are going around in our time, a lot of us don't know how to shoot a gun or purchase a gun or even know anything about a weapon. And so we offer even a all women's firearms class because sometimes, we can get a little intimidated in the class with the males that, know a little bit more about the weapons than the female, and that we could kind of feed off of one another, and kind of help collaborate and move each one of us through that program together. And we feel a little bit more comfortable if we're with another female versus a male and a female. And so we're here to actually walk you through the whole process and understanding the buying process, understanding why there is a need to know how to purchase the firearms and buying a firearms that best fits your size hand, and that you're not purchasing a gun because it's pretty. You're purchasing the gun for the right reasons, for protection. And we will teach you all of that, the laws surrounding that. And we'll actually take you to the range and allow you to shoot and show you how it feels to hold a gun and to shoot that weapon and to be accurate with that. So those are some of the classes that we definitely offer. In addition to that, I'm partnershiping up with other organizations so that I can also have job referrals for a person that may come through our organization that may not be security material, but may be able to work in other organizations. And we want to be able to provide information to give them jobs, if not with us, with someone else. So we want to be able to open that door so that we can be like an all around being able to, I guess, help the community in all areas. And so that's what I want our company to be. I want it to stand out and do those things that most companies don't do. I want to be able to offer that. A friendly, community oriented security agency where we will be able to help people all around, not just in offering security, but also being able to help in other areas. We do volunteer work, and we don't mind doing that because we want to give back to our community and we want the community to know that we care about them too.
You know, it's so funny. And I was laughing, y'all. And I'm gonna tell y'all why I was laughing because and I've shared this with Chief Turner. So so last year, was it last year? It might have been year before last. It was a year when everything was happening, when the pandemic first kicked off. George Floyd had got killed. So my husband and I went to go buy a gun. So me, I went and I'm buying a pretty gun, right? So she said we want to show people how to buy a gun, not just because it's pretty. Listen, that's important because I bought the pretty gun and I went to go shoot, and the guy said to me, "You about to blow your thumb off," and scared me to death. I didn't even pick the gun up after that. I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm about because I was buying pretty." So that's really important, and
Right.
so I know that for me, that's what I was looking for. I was actually looking for a pink gun, Chief. I couldn't find a pink, so I got a cute little beige gun. I don't think it's too bad. But when I first got it and I'm like trying to shoot it, he was like, "You about to blow your thumb off." And I'm like, "Oh my God, freak me out." The other thing I wanted to say was, you know, um, some of the services and the training that you offer, it's so crazy because I think I might have said this to her. I was like, I think I want to be a PI, right? And and because in my mind, I can go and I can watch people and they don't know I'm watching, they don't know who I am, they don't know who this little old chick is in here floating around. See, for me, I see opportunities not just for younger folks, but I see people who want to get a second career, like a second chance at doing something different. That's me. That's what I see. And I can see me being a PI and nobody knowing who I am because I look so unsuspect. Like they wouldn't suspect me being that person, but highly trained. So I feel like there's a lot of opportunities for anybody who's looking for a career change to move into this space. And the other thing I like about what you guys are going to be offering soon is cybersecurity. And there is a lot of need for that. There was an article last week talking about cybersecurity as
Hmm.
we move to the metaverse and how to protect because T-Turn, I don't know if you know this, but inside the metaverse, they're already saying that people are being physically harassed in virtual reality, and that's going to be against the law. It was crazy. I'm like, what? You can't touch anybody in virtual reality. But apparently there's a problem. So just the work that you guys are doing over there, I know it's going to help a lot of people. Now let's talk about WAVE for a second because I know that that's really something near and dear to your heart. So share with the viewers what WAVE is and why that's so important to the women that you're trying to serve.
Okay, so we have collaborated with the administrative team to create a program called the WAVE program. It's Women Against Domestic Violence Every Day. And the objective to this program is to bring women from a depressed state to a success state. And so, what does that look like? How do we do that? How do we make that happen? So, we collectively put together a 5 phase program to help train the minds of the individuals to think positive, to know that they can succeed. And so in this program, it consists of a mindset program, which is phase one. And that is to help change the mind and train the mind into believing they can become successful. And that is a 10-day program, part of the program. And then after that, we move into professionalism and life skills, where we teach the women how to become professionals. We teach them how to talk, how to walk professionally, how to dress professionally, how to fill out a job application, how to interview. These life skills are critical for the professional world. And so that in phase two, they will go through that portion of the program. And then once they have changed their mindset, which is something that we will consistently put them through throughout the entire 45-day portion of the program, then they will be ready for the onset of the profession. And so what we're going to do is we're going to teach them how to become an unarmed security guard first. And once they pass that portion, they will go into becoming an armed security officer. Once they pass that portion, they will go on and become a private investigator. Once they pass that portion, then they will ultimately become an executive protection agent. And the good news about this is that they have 4 different careers within one program where they can become successful. At the end of the program, they will then graduate, they will have a certificate, and ultimately, if there is positions available within my own company, I will actually place them within my own company. And if not, then there's other opportunities where I will recommend through referrals to other organizations. So they have an opportunity to get off what I call the gimme train and become successful women in society. And that's what the WAVE program is all about: empowering our women, putting them in positions so that they can become successful in our society, and encouraging them that they can do this. And so it takes a village sometimes, but I'm willing to utilize the organization that I've been blessed with to help empower women. And
So,
that's what it's
Chief
all about.
Chief Turner, there probably going to be some women who see this broadcast, or somebody may see this broadcast and they may say, you know what, such and such may be a good candidate for the program, but they may have a felony record. Is the program restricted to who can actually take part in the program? Are there any restrictions on that?
Okay, so that's an excellent question. First of all, I'd like to say that it's not just geared toward domestic violence. Anyone could actually take part in this program. However, if you do have a felony and it's a non-violent felony, you what I'm trying to say is you cannot carry a weapon. So you will not be able to carry a weapon. However, you can become an unarmed guard. So it does not stop you from becoming successful. You can still be a security officer if that's what you choose. And or again, we have referrals to other organizations that you might be able to be a part of.
So if they, let me just make sure I'm clear. If they have a severe felony record or a felony record, they can still go through the program. They just won't be able to carry a firearm. There are a lot of programs in Gwinnett County where you're located that offers expungement or record restrictions. If they were able to get their records restricted or expunged, would they then be able to carry a weapon
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. They can carry a weapon if it's get expunged. If it does not get expunged, they can't go through the entire program, only the portion which requires them to be an unarmed guard.
So for them, for that group of women, that would be the phase one, phase two, and then part of phase three.
Right.
Okay, okay.
They
So
will
because I
still get
think
a
that's important.
certificate as an unarmed security officer.
Okay, got it, got it. So
Mhm.
that part, so that's about half the term. So that's about what, 20 days maybe? Because I know the program is 45 straight days, which means that you
Right,
have to make a real commitment for the next 45 days, which includes weekends. And that's gonna take a real commitment and a real mindset change. So
right.
but it's good to know that they can go through the first 20 days, even if they have a felony, but they just won't be able to carry. Um, you've been in law enforcement such a long time, and I know you've probably come across all kind of people who have gone through all kinds of things in life. And
Yes,
for that person who is saying, you know what, this sounds good, but I don't know if this is for me, what do you say to that person? Because I know someone is watching, and they probably have gone through a lot, and they're probably questioning the strength and the can they make it 45 days, because it's going to take a lot of commitment and some rigor towards the end. What do you say to that person?
well, what I would say to that person is that person has to start believing in themselves first off. And they have to know that they can do it. You can do it. And I'm speaking to the one that second guessed themselves. There are many times I, in the beginning, second guessed myself. But what I decided to do is take off that limit of that cap of limitations. We limit ourselves and we tell ourselves what we cannot do, but we can do whatever it is we want to do if we really, really want it. And sometimes we need a little boost. Sometimes we need a little help. And that's why I'm here, to give you that boost and to give you that leg up, to let you know you can do it, you can succeed, and you can have anything you want in this life. All you have to do is choose it.
And that's so important is mindset. That's why the beginning of the very beginning phase of the program is mindset, because it all starts right here between these two little things right here. It starts right inside of there. And once you get that fixed, then you can move to the next phase. Now, I know that a lot of your programs that you offer at Class Act Security and Protection and Training Academy are accredited through some of the post-secondary colleges. Tell us a little bit about that, because if they go through this program, will they be able to use any of those credits towards a degree if they decide to move into like criminal justice or something like that?
Well, absolutely. We are accredited by the non post secondary education department of Georgia, which means some of our courses are college. You can receive college credit for those courses in the field of criminal justice. So we do have Georgia backing all of our courses once you take those courses. Absolutely.
I think that's beautiful. And so, for those of you who are listening right now, you're thinking, you know what? I'm not sure if I want to go to college, but I do like what she's saying. And the fact that I can get some college credits just in case I decide to make that choice. This might be something you want to take a look at. Um, you have a firearms class coming up for women called Girls and Guns. Talk about that, because you know me, I think that's sexy, y'all. Like I told her she should call her group Wonders Warriors, and she's like, she didn't like that name. But tell us about
Well,
that training.
all right, so we are creating a Girls and Guns Club. And we want to put on our first firearms class for females. And I think that's going to be great, a great opportunity for us to collaborate together and learn together how to properly shoot our weapons, properly carry our weapons, when should we carry our weapons, all of these things. I think it's a great opportunity for us to get together and network together and grow together in this field of being able to learn and understand how to utilize our weapons. I'm excited about it. And I encourage all of you guys to sign up and come on board with us and be a part of this great venture, because we can do it too. We know that, men, they get together and they shoot and they learn and they shoot and they learn, but us women, we have to empower one another and stand up and say, hey, we too can do this. We need to learn how to protect ourselves. We have families that need us, and so if we don't know how to protect our families, then what will we do? So we are here to provide that information for you, to show you how you can become efficient in learning how to protect yourself and your family as well.
So that's a great segue into what I'm about to say, because I know we've been talking about women, 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 and I know some of the fellows out there said, "What about us?" Because I get that a lot. What about us? Do you help us do anything? So I know that your agency does not just cater to women. It just happened to be a group that's passionate on your heart, do you
Right.
help fellas?
Absolutely. So we also cater to the women, I mean, the men as well. I'm sorry, guys. But we also want to help you guys too. Our organization is in the process of being actually certified through the Veterans Administration to be able to train all veterans through our company. But you don't have to be a veteran in order to take our courses. You can still come through and take any course that you choose to take through us. In addition to that, we will also send out referrals for jobs for you as well. So we're not leaving you all out, and you all are welcome to come through our organization to be a part of what we do. And we do hire men as well.
Because I get a lot of flack because most of the things that I do are geared towards women, and I've had people say to me over the years, "What about the fellas?" And I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, I even had to create it like on one of my networks. I had to create a channel called the Distinguished Gentleman Channel on the network because the whole network was called HerTube, and they were like, "What about us?" And I'm like, "Oh God, I got to create a channel for the guys." So we don't want to leave you guys out, but we understand that there's so many women lose their lives to domestic violence and violent crimes every year, pretty much every month. Like
Right.
I think I woke up this morning and they found the young lady laying on the sidewalk right here in Gwinnett County last night. She was dead, and so
Well,
nobody knows what happened to her. And it's pretty sad. But when you don't know how to defend yourself, or you don't know what to do in a situation that's like, and I think I've shared. I don't know if I've ever shared this story with you guys, but I think I've shared it with Chief Turner. I think I'm tough. You know what I mean? I think I'm tough. And I remember my uncle had passed away, and the neighbor next door said that someone was in his house. So she called me and she said someone is in the house, and my friend and I went to the house. So my friend, her son, who's my godson, we go to the house, and we're standing on the front porch. She turned up. I was on one side, she was
wow.
on the other side, and her son had went across the street to the park to get a cop. So we're standing on the porch, and lo and behold, this man walks up out the basement, walks through the living
Wow.
room, and walked
Wow.
right past, and we froze. Like this could not, if he wanted to blow us away, he could have blown both of us away.
Wow.
We could not, we were frozen solid. And he just walked right down the steps and walked right on down the street. And my cousin just happened to be coming down the street. He was like,
Wow.
"What's wrong?" And I was like, "He was in Uncle Bubba's house." And so he called him and made him come back and sit on the porch till the police came. But you don't know what you're going to do in that situation, especially if you're not trained. I think I'm tough, right? And the man just walked right out the door, and I'm sitting up there like, can't move. Just she and I both just frozen solid. And he could have did anything he wants. So being able to know how to defend yourself and protect yourself, I think is so important. So guys, we're not leaving you out, but we want to make sure that our women can do that. You have strength. We need to have brains and techniques to, because we don't have the strength that you have. So we need to know how to do these things. So we're not leaving you out. So I know that there's a lot of things that you're doing at Class Act. I love the executive protection piece. I joke about that all the time, but it's serious. I always think about, so if you watch, if you like Gerard Butler and Channing Tatum, you know what I'm talking about. London Has Fallen and White House Down. Those are executive protectors. So if you
Right.
watch those two, those are executive protectors. So I always talk about that. So can you elaborate on that a little bit, because I feel like that's such a great opportunity for people to not only work with your agency, but to work with other governmental agencies because of how high profile that position is.
Well, absolutely. But that program is not just for women. That program is also for men and women, and it
Mhm.
allows them the opportunity just to get, a sample of what it's like to actually protect the principal. The principal is the client. And in our program, we would like you to get that feel. We will set up mock situations where you will go and do an advance in a restaurant or a place to ensure the safety of the client that you're protecting. And so you will take part in that. You'll take part in a convoy where you'll actually be on the road with the client with you, and how you would actually protect that client should you become attacked by someone. And I think it's very important to understand what it is and what it takes to protect a client in EP. We have EP with a team. We have EP solo. EP solo actually means you're actually protecting that client one-on-one. So that client actually have his own personalized security person that's with them at all times. So you will learn part of that. You will learn how to operate in a team. And I think it's something that we all should understand and know. And it will also teach you to be vigilant and observant, because that's one of the most important things. The client is only thinking about where he or she is going and when he or she is coming back. You have to think for him or her. You have to understand what's going on around you, what's happening before that client gets there, what happens when the client steps out of one building into the car, how to get that client into a car, how to do diamond formations, and how to make sure that that client is completely surrounded by its agents to ensure the safety of the client. And so you'll go through all of those different steps within the program. And I think it's a wonderful program and very exciting, especially when it gets to the hands-on part, because it shows how much information that you have learned in the classroom, now you actually have to put it in action. So I think you would really enjoy it. And also for my men, I want you to know that I'd like to also develop an elite team to be a part of Class Act, so that we will be able to be those actually security to actually rise above all the rest. A specialized team that will go into different situations to ensure the safety of others. So
So
reach
now,
out to me.
yeah, reach out. I'm going to drop the website before we close out, but I just want to ask Chief Turner to elaborate on partnerships. I know right now you're doing a collaborative partnership with the Salvation Army downtown Atlanta, and there may be other organizations out there who say, you know what, I want to partner with you guys. We have an audience that we feel like this would be helpful for. How can someone? What does a partnership look like when it comes to partnering with Class Act?
I'm also partnership up with the Marriott Hotel as well. And the objective there is to help them as well as they help us to be able to facilitate employment with their organization and with our organization. And so that is what we're doing at this time. I'm also partnership up with the worksource development, where they have actually created a flyer for us to where people who are looking for employment could actually come to our organization, and those that come to our organization and are not quite a fit for what it is that we do, we can then refer them also through the workforce development agencies to ensure that they get proper employment for their craft. So that's what it looks like, us collaborating together, because to me, the way things are going and how hard it is to staff in different businesses and organization, to me, I think a collaborative effort, if us as organizations get together and we collaborate together, what might be a fit for that organization may not be a fit for me, and vice versa. One that's a fit for me may be a fit for that other organization. So what I've learned in law enforcement and also in security, that sometimes people will go and try to solicit your people from your organization to work for their, but you don't have to do it that way. What you can do is a collaborative effort, and that we share in these individuals who are looking for work. And that is the objective to what I'm looking for in my partnership, is to be able to give back or give you individuals that may be a perfect fit for your organization and vice versa. And we can do that together as we collaborate in partnership.
I know that Wave is not an inexpensive program, because it's so many phases to it and it's so intricate. But I know that if someone wants to support another young woman that needs to go through that program, how does that happen? What do they need to do if they want to offer financial support to sponsor a young woman? What do they need to do?
Okay, so we are looking for sponsorship. We are not asking the women to pay for their class through the 45-day program. The 45-day program The price on that is $6,000 per person. And we're asking the community, we're asking for partnerships, we're asking for organization to sponsor at least one woman through this program to bring them from that depressed state to a success state. And so once they do that, again, the individual will come out with 4 different successful careers in which they can operate in, either one or all 4 of them, where they can operate in a successful manner and be able to give back and feed their families. And so we're asking for sponsorships. We're asking for organizations to come on board with this WAVE program and help us empower the women of today.
So thank you so much. So I know that people will probably want to know how to get in contact with you. So I'm going to drop this in the comment section right here so people can find out more about this. I'm going to post it right up here. If you want to find out more about Class Act, you can go there, classactsecurityprotection.com. And we're streaming live on 2 Facebook pages, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Roku. So we're all over the place right now. So I got to make sure everybody get it. Let me pop it right here on the other Facebook page. Give it a second, Class Act Security Protection. And now we're going to pop it on YouTube. It's on YouTube. And it's already over on the Roku side and LinkedIn side. So Chief Turner, thank you so much. I really applaud you for the work you've done, your commitment to our community and our women, and empowering women to just give them better options for life. Also empowering them to protect themselves and protect their families. And for people like me who think I'm cool and know how to shoot a gun. So thank you for people like me. And I'm looking forward to be a part of the Guns and Girls Club. I don't know about you. I'm going to get me a pink gun, though. My gun is beige right now. I still want the pink gun, but I need to know how to shoot. So thank you for that as well. I know you got a lot of work ahead of you. And I know that I know this won't be easy, ladies. Listen, this is not going to be easy. But I assure you, from being around Chief Turner, that you're in caring and nurturing hands in her team. Just amazing people who are professional and understand this industry. Not only will you know how to protect yourself, you will know how to make the best career choice for you. So, Chief Turner, thank you again for all your hard work and dedication to our community. Listen, this was a special edition of Good Morning Gwinnett. I have more episodes like this. I'm trying to get out of the office. I'm trying to get out of the home office and go down to the office, to the studio that I had. That's hard. I'm trying. But thank you again. Listen, I'll be back again tomorrow. I won't be here on video, but you can catch me on goodmorninggwinnett.com live at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can download the app. If you don't ever want to miss an episode, there's an app. If you have an Android phone or Apple phone, there is an app for that. Just go there and say Good Morning Gwinnett, and the app will download to your phone. I'll be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Y'all stay safe out there, Chief Turner. You stay safe and keep protecting our community. Until next time, my friends. Until next time. Make it a great day. Bye, y'all.